Hey everybody, it's Cassandra Keller-Zeisler, and I'm back with Mike Petrovich of Petrovich Team Home Loan. So today we want to touch on a couple things. This is going to be a little bit shorter, sweeter episode. Basically, we have quite a few clients who are considering whether they should wait to buy and potentially save money that way, or if it'll cost you more. And today we're going to talk about that topic along with the mortgage rates in that same situation. So Mike, you want to say hi to everyone?
Hey everybody, hi.
Is Norman still with you? Oh, he's so cute. That's our little mascot. Okay, so the company that we work with and follow has, I think, one of the best articles that's come out recently. So many people are currently right now sitting on the fence trying to decide if now is a really good time to buy, whether you're a renter or maybe you've just outgrown your current home. People are getting frustrated with the market, have been frustrated with the market. If you've been in the market for a while, you understand the situation. You're probably losing out on offers, or maybe you thought about building previously, went back to the builder, and now it's $50,000 to $60,000 more. And we're going to touch on the building side of that too, closer to the end. But there's a couple of questions that are relevant in if now is a really good time to buy, or if maybe you're going to end up saving yourself money down the road. I think it's a common misconception at this moment that people are going to wait to see if prices go down. I'm not really foreseeing any of that happening. How about you? What are you seeing with other agents right now?
With values?
Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on waiting versus?
Well, I mean, I have some people that are obviously they're getting frustrated because they're making multiple offers and losing, and some of these offers have to get, they're offering above the appraised value. They're offering credits to the seller, which was not a position I would want to be in if I was buying a house, obviously. But that's just how the market is right now. And some are saying I'll just wait until the prices come back down. Maybe they're just saying that just because wishful thinking, but I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how prices can drop. And I think we touched on this last week. The issue, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, was that there were too many houses for sale. They were overbuilding, and now they've drastically underbuilt the last 10 years. And it's going to take a long time to build your way out of this. So I don't see prices dropping anytime in the near future, and they're not going to build them so quickly that the prices drop. So prices are going to continue to go up, and maybe in a year, maybe in 2 years, they level out a bit, and maybe they stop increasing. But if you're waiting for them to drop, it's just not going to happen. So and rates are back to being low again. They're probably about as low as they were. They got as low as possible that I've seen in December. They're not quite back to there, but they went up in March, came back down in April. So rates are still low, but everyone's still talking about this. Eventually, they're going to go back up. Maybe not. I mean, still be in the threes possibly, but they're not going to be in the high twos like they are now. So rates are going to go up. Prices are going to continue to go up. So there's no option to wait for a better deal. You're going to pay more in the future if you do wait. Which I understand if you want to wait. If you can't handle this market and losing offers, but there's not going to be a benefit financially a year from now.
Yeah, and that really covers. So there was two questions I think are relevant to what, when you're trying to make a decision as a buyer, a move-up buyer, or just a first-time buyer. So do you think that home values will be higher a year from now? And do we think that mortgage rates will be higher a year from now? So let's touch on the home values. So where will the home prices be a year from now? Well, most of the economists are still projecting at least a 7.7% increase appreciation over the year. So that means, we've seen crazy high appreciations per year for the last couple of years. They're basically saying that if you bought a house today, on this exact day, a year from now, it would be worth 7.7% more of that full purchase price. So let's take a house that's $325,000 as an example. If the buyer puts down a 10% down payment, they'll end up borrowing about $292,500 for their mortgage. But if you apply that projected rate, let's say you try to go buy that same purchase price for your house, with that 7% appreciation next year. And that's not even including the fact that on top of that, you're going to be dealing with other people who are offering multiple offers. That's just a flat appreciation. because we see once you get the multiple offers that even more people start to bid, and then the prices go up even more. So, but let's do for just the 7.7%, the house would cost you about $350,000, and your down payment would be closer to $35,000. So your total borrowed amount would be $315,000 versus last year, or if we say this year, $292,000. So that is in regards to the purchase price. But like I said, I don't foresee the market being flooded with inventory until the builders catch up. And bless the builders, they are working night and day to do that. I think they're all the busiest they've ever been. But what are you seeing from the mortgage side? So how will mortgage rates be in about a year from now? What are you seeing for projections on that?
So they're forecasting, almost all of them are projecting mid threes, which is a great rate. I mean, that's in beginning of 2020, that would have been the best rate ever, mid threes. So it's not a terrible rate, but it's going to be higher. Right now, you're probably depending on the loan amount and rate. Loan amount, credit score, down payment. You'll be in the high twos right now, high to mid twos. Mm-hmm. And they did bump up to threes back in March, February. So I think, yeah, they'll be up in the 3.5, maybe 3.75 possibly by the end of the year. We'll see. I guess it depends on how the economy goes. For rates, good news on the economy is bad news for rates. So going back up, all that kind of stuff, rates just go up. They went down because of COVID stuff, and once that tapers off, hopefully, rates are just going to go back up. I mean, good news is bad news for rates. So just remember that bad news is good news for rates. So they'll be higher, just not. They won't be super high. So don't freak out. 3.5 is still a really great rate if it goes up that high. But
yeah,
it'll probably be up there.
I think my mom, her interest rate when she bought her house was like 13%.
Yeah, it's from perspective, huh? So people when I went above 3 in February, some people were freaking out, but I'm like, it's still. I know it sucks you missed the twos, but it's still a really good rate. So historically, best rate ever.
So long and short of our video today is, we see it from both sides. We see people from the mortgage side asking Mike about if they should wait. And some people have really convinced themselves that waiting is the key. It's really not. You are actually just going to end up paying more for a house. And you've probably noticed that already, something that you maybe had your eyes on a year ago, and you look at something similar or even in a little bit worse condition, and it's selling for more than that house that you had your eye on a year ago. And like I said before, same with the builder. Actually, touching on the builders, they are in a bit of a bind where, due to the lumber prices going up, some of them have had to void contracts and assess that cost as an option to continue that build with the buyer, because it's a 30 to 40% increase. Is that what we've been hearing?
Something crazy. Yeah. So, lumber is like 3 to 4 times higher than it was a year ago. And typically on a build, you set a contract. It takes 8 months, 12 months, whatever it is, to build the house, but you're set at that price, and the builder still has to buy all the material going forward, and they just they either try to factor in if they think there's going to be an increase. They try to kind of just play the market essentially. So you're supposed to be locked in at the price you negotiated, but the prices are going up so fast on material that some of them are having to go back and do things that that they don't normally do. They're basically going back and saying, hey, we can no longer honor our contract. We have to increase the price. We have to adjust the purchase price. They're having to extend out their close dates well past what they, sometimes close dates get extended on just because of weather, things like that, but they're going back now and extending them even farther out because they don't have the material. So you're seeing people that were shopping, got frustrated, they couldn't find a house, went to building. I had a person do this exact same thing, lost some offers, decided, hey, I have to build, was waiting to build for, I think you're on month 3, and they came back to him and said, we're going to have to renegotiate the contracts. So he canceled that. You're allowed to cancel if they do that, and went back on the market and actually did find a house. So the point here is that he had lost a bunch of houses, got frustrated, went to build. They came back and said, now we're going to raise the price. And he went back on the market and found something. So in his case, it worked out. I think a lot's going to happen a lot where if builders going back and renegotiate a purchase price, people are going to bail out of their contracts with the builder, which they'll let you do and get your deposit back. And getting back on the market. So you're going to see people that maybe were out of the market come back in now that they're not building anymore.
Right.
So there's no good play here, basically. So.
And people who are maybe wanting to build, getting it on those slots. So we can be able to do that.
Yes.
switch there. But, well, basically what we wanted to cover today, I think we shed a bunch of light on. The market is going to be strong. It's going to be competitive. You are not going to have your costs paid by the seller. If anything, you're going to be paying seller's costs, and be prepared to be in multiple offer situations. And, a lot of the things that are winning right now are no inspections on houses, and, waiving the appraisal differences, because that's started to come back around as a little bit of an issue too. So, something to be prepared for. We're experts. We do this every day, and we're here to help you through those scenarios, and coach you along, and make sure that if you are writing strong offers like that we think you're doing them on houses that warrant that kind of an offer. So we don't want to see you into something that you dread, and we want you to be excited. And we're definitely here to help you on that. Mike can always run figures for you anytime that you're interested in purchasing. So if you've been thinking about waiting, you might want to just give him a call and get started on your financing, see where you'd come in at. We can go from there. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and I will link our contact information for this episode below. But everybody have a great day, and thanks again, Mike. I appreciate it.
See ya.